Welcome to the first edition of Friday Fundamentals. We live in a world with more information than ever before, yet sometimes it feels harder than ever to know what to believe. So, like between the social media, message boards, silent conversations, and endless opinions, there is no shortage of advice when it comes to youth sports. So, our goal with Friday Fundamentals is simple: cut through the noise. Each Friday, we'll share practical insights on volleyball, athlete development, parenting, mindset, and growth. No gimmicks, no fluff, just honest conversations about what actually helps athletes improve and what helps families navigate the journey. So, whether you're brand new to volleyball or have been around the game for years, my hope is that these weekly shorts will help you better understand the sport, support your athlete, and enjoy the process a little more. Let's do this. So for today's first Friday Fundamental, I'm excited to share with you how learning works. Oh man, this is a conversation that I love to have with parents, because there's so much misinformation when it comes to learning and growth. So let's just cut through the fluff and get right to it. So number one, practice does not make perfect. Even perfect practice does not make perfect. Okay, so get out of your mind. Like that old adage is gone, okay? What really I want to understand is that you can practice every day for 100 years and be essentially the same player. And you're like, no, that's BS. Like that can't be the right case. Like kids will get better. No, not at all. And that's what's hard to understand, I think, in today's day and age, is that our kids are involved in so many activities, and we're hoping that the activity itself, the environment, will make them better. There's a really, really clear way of how learning works. And so the fallacy of all of this is the fact that getting in the gym does not make you better. Doing reps, lots of them, does not make you better. Well, and here's why, right? And so the biggest thing to understand is how learning works from just the purely scientific standpoint. So number one, you have 86 billion neurons in your brain. So my brain controls my body. My body won't do anything without my brain telling it first, right? And so the brain sends signals from an electrical impulse. The signal comes through a thought or what it might be, and then the messages get sent through all the synapses, sent through all the axons, everything, to my spinal cord, and they get sent to my muscles. So right now, parents, we're gonna do this together, okay? So right now, we're gonna do something that's really, really cool, and we're gonna tell our brain to control our body, and we're gonna go with our right hand, go forward. Pretty simple. Left hand, go backwards. Pretty simple. Now here's what's interesting is you've done that before in some random place, so you have a neural pathway to create these movements. Forward, backwards, we got it. Now, do it at the same time. And if you're like anyone who's starting out, you're gonna be doing this. Go in the same direction, okay? But we're talking about doing the opposite, okay? Yes, I can do it because I've done that a billion times, and I give this demonstration many, many times. This is a great example of how learning works. You have an idea, you want to perform it, but you have not created the neural pathway, the motor programming. So you're telling your muscles, hey, hand, we're doing this and doing this same time, okay? Not going to happen. What's interesting with our athletes is we'll give instruction and expect them to do it. No, they're not going to be able to do it. They don't have the neural pathway. They don't have the connections in the brain to tell their muscles what to do unless they practice it before. So you have to slow it down. They have to do it so slowly and perfect to create that. And guess what? That still won't create the connection, the neural pathway. Because something called Hebb's law is that what gets fired gets wired, right? So you have your synapses and dendrites that pass on information. You do some new movement, and the connection is weak. It's going to fall off. And then you have what's called myelin, which is essentially insulation that helps with energy, prevents energy loss. So the connection gets stronger and stronger, so then pretty soon they can do it without thinking, right? It's like driving a car. You're driving, and then pretty soon, when you're first starting out driving, you're thinking about lots of different things, like that person going there, I got to brake, I got to push, I got to turn, you know. And then when you get older, you can have a conversation. You can be like, honestly, just not think, and you're next thing you know, you're ended up at practice or whatever it might be, right? So that's how your brain works. It's an incredible machine, but it requires deliberate practice. It requires doing the things so slowly that you can't get it wrong, and then you have to do it faster and faster and faster and faster and faster until you can't do it wrong anymore. and then enters competition, then enters randomness, then enters sporadic training. And what happens is you go back to old habits because that's the strongest neural pathway, right? So practice, if done well, should feel chaotic, should feel that you're not learning at all. It should feel frustrating because you're challenging your old neural pathway. You're challenging your old program. And no, I don't know of anybody who likes that. Honestly, it does not feel good to do something and not be good at it, especially trying something new over and over and over again, right? But that's the secret sauce. That's it. So when you look at how learning actually works, it comes down to doing things the wrong way to do it the right way, meaning that you're going to have to fail in the attempt to do it the right way. Because what's comfortable is not going to get you to where you need to be, right? And unless you're the best player in the world. If you're the best player in the world and it's easy, then great, you're awesome. But something's going to pass you up. And so it's about finding ways to do things better, finding ways to challenge yourself. So we'll break it down very simply. Let's talk about serving, right? So if you're able to serve the ball slowly with the right form, that's great, right? That means that you're learning and you do that so often, and then you can serve the ball, say, at 30 miles an hour with good form. Ball's not spinning at all. It's floating perfectly for a jump float, whatever. And you're like, yeah, it's good. Now, can you do that 34 miles an hour, 36 miles an hour, 38 miles an hour while keeping the same form? If the answer is no, guess what? That's what you're going to be working on. And it's not comfortable because you haven't created a neural pathway. It's like going through 10 feet of snow and you're drudging your way through and you're swimming your way through trying to create that path. Once its path is created, it's pretty easy. But that's your job. And that's what it feels like is a struggle. And that's just how the brain works. And so right now, again, going back to putting things full circle, here's my body. My hands are not going to do anything without my brain telling it to do something, right? Unless I've already created these habits and these neural pathways. So if I want to do something new, guess what? I'm going to have to sit there. I'm going to have to do it the right way and struggle and have to speed it up over and over and over again till you create that new neural pathway. And then then you have to test it. You have to put it in competition. You have to put it in practice. You're going to have to do it with a block. You have to do it with people screaming at you. You have to do all the different situations where it's locked in, right? And then the environment can also change the neural pathway based on your stress receptors and stress levels. So it's fun. I mean, this is what learning is all about. This is what's so exciting, is doing these type of things, right? So now bring it all together. All right, parents, you have a summer coming up and you want your kid to make the high school team. They want to make the high school team, right? Or they want to make the junior high team. What do you do? Where do you put them, right? Well, I can tell you this. Putting them in a 3-day summer camp is not going to help them get better. They might get the information, but learning takes consistency and takes time. Remember, if you learn a new skill and you're like, oh, wow, I learned this. You create the neural connection, right? The new neural pathway, but then without being reinforced over and over again, it dies off. So it gets fired and then it dies. So you really need all that repetition. So here's the Friday fundamentals, right? We're giving you no BS, no fluff. Save your money and don't just spend it one-offs on private lessons. Like my favorite thing running a youth sport for over 20 years is seeing parents spend all this money on private lessons right before high school tryouts. Like, I'm sorry, it's not going to help. One thing maybe is like they might feel like they're getting polished up and feel they get more confidence because they're doing some easy reps. But as soon as they go to practice, they're going to feel discouraged because what they did in private lesson, when a coach was tossing, they had all these awesome spikes. It's not going to translate that way. The ball's going to be random. The set's going to be weird, and they're going to be all off, and they're going to go home so frustrated saying, I don't want to play volleyball anymore, right? Some of you are smiling because you know it's happened, right? So this is what we're trying to talk about, is we want to help you guys understand the science of learning and to do things the right way. So stop wasting your money. Make sure you understand that, hey, if you want to go and get better at a skill, it's going to take a lot of patience, a lot of discipline, a lot of hard work, meaning it's deliberate, meaning you can't just show up. You have to be there and be very intentional about how you move your arm, about how you move your feet over and over and over and over again. The learning process isn't sexy, but you can make it fun. You can make it enjoyable. You can teach your kids how to take on the challenge, right? And that's really where it becomes fun, is that they start learning how to learn. Once they learn how to learn, it's a superpower. It's like we brain hack it, right? I love calling that brain hacking, where they go out there and like, oh, I'm gonna learn a new skill. I know how to do this faster now. Like Tiger Woods, when he was on the top of his game, he changed his golf swing 4 different times. Point being is, here's an elite athlete who is consistently and constantly getting better and improving. So for your athletes, it's like they're serving. How do they push themselves today? Right? They're going through the motion. They're just reinforcing bad habits. Like, you're not gonna get better. Yes, you're wasting time. Yes, you're wasting money. Yes, you're wasting hours of your life. And so it takes a lot. And that's why most people don't train for hours and hours on end without taking these amazing breaks, right? You look at the best violinists in the world, they will practice with like really deep practice, slow, and really try to figure things out, right? Which is painful. It's not comfortable. Your brain hates it, but it's so good for your brain, right? And they'll take a nap after that and then get back to it, right? Because true deliberate practice is exhausting, meaning that you are just in that state of doing the things the right way over and over and over again. So, with all said and done, what can you learn from this? What are the next steps? First, make sure you know what your athlete's goals are, right? What do they want? Do they want to make the high school team? Do they want to go play in college? That's important, because if you understand what their goals are and why their goals are the way they are, you're able to help them through that process, because it's not easy. It's not fun at times, right? Games are fun because you get to play, but games only reflect all your past training, right? And so as you're in it with your athletes and they're saying, hey, I want to make the high school team. Sweet. Why? Oh, because I'm friends and I want to become the best I can be, because I want to represent my school, and I want to win a state championship, or I want to just put on my college resume, or whatever it might be. You look back at it and said, okay, let's look at where you're at, where you want to be, and understand how to get there. Knowing that just by showing up and going to practice is not enough. You won't get better. You're only going to reinforce your old habits. And so you have to look at it and be like, where am I at? Where do I want to be? And what are the steps to get there? I'm going to say that again. Where am I at? What am I doing? Like, do I have video? Like, how's my arm swing? How's my serve? How's my technique? Like, then we talk about technique, like, what's your body doing? Next step, what do the pros do? What do the best players do? And what is the difference between the two? And then you have to train your body. Again, you're competing against old neural pathways. You have this beautiful snow path in the regions of your brain that says, this is how I'm going to serve, or this is how I'm going to spike. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh no, I have to actually do this. And you're creating new paths in that snow. And what's tough about that is, as soon as external stimulus comes up, their brain's going to go through what they've always done. Now, parents, you're thinking like, okay, like, this is really discouraging, but it's also like amazing. And I'll tell you why it's amazing is because for the first time, you can teach your athletes and your kids how to have this superpower. That you can say like, hey, this is hard, and that's great. That means you're learning. If you had a great practice and you're like, oh my gosh, I did all these skills well, no learning occurred. If they had a good practice, all that told us was that all their past preparation led to good execution. Good execution is the antithesis of learning. And you're thinking, no, that doesn't make sense. I disagree with that. Good, but you're wrong, and here's why. Is because if I can make a serve, right, and it's 34 miles an hour floating and it looks good, right, and I can do that consistently, that means that I've already created the neural pathway. What do I need to do is serve a ball 38 miles an hour, that same kind of float and consistency. And I do that, and it's not as good. So then my practice is bad because I miss more serves. You see what I mean? Like, execution is your ability to slow things down and in a slower, more controlled environment. And if you can execute in a more chaotic environment, that means that you are getting better So, full circle. Let's go through this again. Number 1, make sure your kids know what they want. Number 2, understand where they're at, where they want to be, and then work towards having a plan to get there. And that's where good coaching comes in, right? Coach is going to say, hey, here's what we need to work on. And then it's up to you. You got to work on athletes. You got to work on it all the time. And working on it doesn't mean just doing it in practice. It means becoming obsessed with it. You need to create neural pathways. And you can create a neural pathway by thinking about it and putting yourself in challenging situations. It's harder because our minds are going to be wandering. It's easier when you're actually in the moment, physically moving your body. It's easier to stay, when a ball's flying at you, it's easier to stay focused on the ball than when you're just laying in bed thinking about a ball flying at you, right? You can work on this all the time. And that's the secret power, is pick 1 or 2 things you want to get really good at and then just become obsessed with it. And then pretty soon, after, time, consistency, you create the neural pathway. Your brain goes, yeah, check. Next skill. It's a habit now. The things you can do with good habits, and that's what that's what people say. Like this, the secret to like having a really successful life is just consistency, right? In doing good things. So most people just don't stay consistent long enough. They give up. And so stay with it. It's not a matter of if, but when, if you just stay consistent. So that's our challenge to you right now. So this summer, you guys have a lot going on. Go have fun, be kids. But when you go sign up for summer camps or practices, recognize, am I going to execute this day? Or am I going to learn this day? Execution feels great. Feels good. It's playing a piano, the same song you've always played, and people go, wow, that's so amazing. But you're not getting better. So I would challenge you to keep the learning mindset during practice. Games, hey, go have fun, go compete, go be adaptive, right? You're not going to outperform your old habits. And good habits don't have bad days. So let's get after it. All right, so there you go, parents. Friday Fundamentals, the truth of how learning works. So thank you for joining us today. Hopefully there's some good things that you have learned. All right, take care.